And for your top story this hour, Bill Gates has described his past association with Jeffrey Epstein as a huge mistake in an interview, reiterating that he was foolish to spend any time with him. Gates has denied more recent allegations found in unsealed Epstein files as absolutely absurd and completely false, maintaining that his interactions were limited to discussing philanthropy. The US Department of Justice released over 3 million pages of investigative files in the Epstein case. According to reports, these include unverified 2013 emails written by Epstein, though possibly never sent. Allegations that Gates contradicted a sexually transmitted infection from Russian girls and sought to superficially give antibiotics to his then wife, Melinda French Gates. We are now being joined by Mark Sutherland, who's a geopolitical commentator, joining us from London. Thank you so much for joining us here today on NewsX World. Does Bill Gates' admission that he was foolish go far enough in addressing public concerns about powerful figures associating with known offenders?
Good to be with you. Thank you. The concern is this: is for the average citizen in the world who is fully awake to the appalling behaviour of Epstein. The key is this: is that those people who are extremely wealthy beyond our wildest dreams, beyond the things we can even imagine, are also in extremely powerful positions. We are then being exposed to how they think these people then think they can get away with things, and they have an attitude, frankly, that they are then above the law. And respectfully, the fact is that people know a lot of information. They are fully aware, I believe, of what has gone on, and a load of this is unfolding now, as you've just read in the headlines, the ramifications here in the UK in regard to people like Mandelson. But of course, with Bill Gates, who I have to say I am no friends with for a variety of different reasons, and in regard to his behaviour. But the thing is, Ellie, I'll just underline this, is that some of these people who think that they are extremely powerful and extremely wealthy think that they are above the law, and that they can then mix and get up to things that are deeply questionable. And all of the, personally, if we can, all of these people need to be held to account. Maybe that's with some, that's about to begin. Ellie.
How should public accountability differ when influential individuals like Bill Gates has said claim their interactions were for philanthropy, but they occur after serious criminal convictions?
Ellie, I mean, again, you raise a very important question, and when you were reading the headlines, you note, the Clintons they're going to go before Congress and testify. We all wait with bated breath to see what they will then say. These people, particularly with them, there's a long track record. And as someone has already commented today, when we look back over the last 30 years, and some of us are that old, we then come to the conclusion that it seems that people have got away with so much, and they don't seem to be held accountable. And that is then the concern. And with events unfolding here in the UK, Ellie, there is going to be a number of people that wait with bated breath, because we want that accountability, and that, as I say, that may happen. You ask a very important question, e.g., if people are then taken to court, can we then trust the legal system to then find these people guilty if the information has come up to say that they are guilty? Will people be given that, or will things be then covered up again? The problem is there is a track record at times, in my own humble opinion, that it seems to say, is there a collusion all the way to the top that is deeply worrying, Ellie. Thank you.
And as we've seen with all these files drop, and there many victims also. Do these renewed revelations from the Epstein files risk shifting the focus away from the victims and towards reputational damage for these high-profile figures? Do you think it's just saying, oh, this person was in the files, but just completely ignoring the fact that why there are these files in the first place?
Ellie, again, you raise a very good question, because we must not forget the victims and what many young women have actually suffered in these circumstances. And it also seems, I was saying this on my behalf, that seeing it in other people quoting on other news channels, when we say, well, we must not forget the victims, it seems a bit trite. You are not saying that tritely. It's so important that we do, and we must not. And to be fair, let's just say this: there's been a big independent grooming gang investigation here in the UK, led by Rupert Lowe, that started on Monday, and we could end up saying that all this kind of stuff overshadows even the importance of that investigation as well. We know how the news cycle works. We know when people want to push stories to then get other stories out of the media headlines, and frankly, it's an extremely, on the one hand, it seems easy, but it's also an extremely nefarious and complex, industrial complex, media-wise, that we are then dealing with. But you are absolutely right to say that the victims must never ever be forgotten, and especially when we're looking at people like Virginia Giuffre and what sadly what happened to her, and then there are. With her, and like many others, there are some very deep questions that people want answers, and we want the truth instead of. The problem is that then people go down, I can understand it, go down the conspiracy line, but we actually want the truth, and we want this to be verified. On independent media, there are a number of girls that have come forward for a long time who are speaking out, and their voices need to be heard. Ellie.
Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us here on NewsX World. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.